Yeah. So we're talking about the method of correction according to the wisdom of Kabbalah. It's a method that helps a person invert his egoistic nature of receiving only for himself to a nature of loving others, giving, and by that to achieve eternal happiness, something that we're all looking for in our lives nowadays. And on previous shows, we understood that a person can't do it on his own. He needs a group. And today we'd like to learn how, with the help of the group and how, with the help of that method that the Kabbalists gave us, can we reach the desired correction. And today we'd like to focus on a small part of the method called integration, inclusion. And Oren will read us a short passage written by your teacher. The Rav Baruch Shalom Alevi Ashlag, the Rabash, writes, "For this reason, society must consist of individuals who unanimously agree that they must achieve it. Then all the individuals become one great force that can fight against itself, since everyone is integrated in everyone else. Thus each person is founded on a great desire to achieve the goal." So I'd like to open with a general question of what do we mean by integration? Itkalelut in Hebrew. Each and every person has an egoistic desire of his own. He has all the other desires that other people have too. Maybe they're mixed a bit differently, but because he has a feeling of the self that stands behind all of his desires, then all these desires, he uses them in order to serve himself. And this is how it is with everyone. Therefore, we can be connected. Suppose we have a mutual goal that either we want to benefit this goal somehow, suppose our mutual baby, or each of us wants to derive pleasure from that goal. And then we can be partners, because I can't do it on my own, but only together, at least two of us. So we connect. When we connect, we enjoy either giving or receiving towards someone or something. And this is how it is in our world with respect to all of our connections that exist for some time, and then we draw apart, meaning there's separation and connection. The integration, inclusion, it's a very special action. What the wisdom of Kabbalah means by integration, hitkalelut in Hebrew, is that people merge with one another. That by the integration, each of us receives the properties, the qualities of the other, along with the character of the fellow man, along with his desire. If I'm included of someone, inside me, I can build his form. He exists inside of me, so much that suppose I'm completely integrated with my friend, then that friend is inside of me. His internality is inside of me. It exists in me. And as a result of integrating with him, I can precisely know who he is, what does he think, what does he want, how does he think, how does he decide, everything. Because I copied him onto myself, and a copy of him exists in me. That's called integration, inclusion, or itkalelut. Of course, we don't need all these things in our group that yearns to integrate with the Creator, to achieve connection, adhesion with the Creator. But we need a partial integration with one another. Meaning, if I have a group in which there are another 9 friends besides myself, then I have to be included of their inclinations, their attitude, their desire, everything that they have towards the spiritual goal. And then it's not as if I copy the fellow man onto myself and that he exists in me. That's not integration. Integration, it means that both of us exist in me. I as the fundamental part, the original part, and he as the one that I want to include inside myself. He permeates me and is included with me. And this way, I'm included with all the others, with my group, so that inside of me exist all of their images, not the way each one of them is per se, but the way they exist in an interconnection within me, integrated inside of me. And as a result, I no longer remain myself that in some way brought their images into me. But by this I reached a state where I am no longer myself, but I'm included of them. They exist in me, and by that I create a new structure where I am no longer myself, but in me there's this interconnection, what we call itkalelut in Hebrew, an integration, an inclusion of the entire group. It exists in me in different ways, shapes, and forms that are all included in one another, and this shape or form is called a partzuf, a structure. The general integration of this entire group inside of me is a partzuf. Yes. And 10 of these integrations that exist inside of me, it's like 10 sefirot, 10 measures, qualities. These qualities are inside of me, and when I start working with them in order to bestow, these qualities become sefirot. And why is that good? It's good because I reached a state where I can really bestow outwards towards others, because without being included with them, I don't know how to work with them, how to give, how to bestow, how to love. I do it according to what I think, or maybe according to the external impression that I have of what they like. But it's not exactly the correct form by which to bestow good onto others, because then I'm still working with my ego. This way, I work with a form in which all of the 10 exist in me equally. They exist in me in a very special integration between them, where really only this kind of integration is called a partzuf. What does it mean? Because what does it mean to integrate between us? In order to integrate, I invite the upper force, the force of the light, to help me to accept the other, to begin with. And therefore, when I accept the other, the fellow man, and I'm included of them, what follows is that in my connection with the fellow man and the connection that I make, in the integration that I have with the other 9, there is my force and the force of my friend, the first, the second, third, and so on, up to the 9th. And what we attain from this integration is that we derive the one that exists in this integration, which is the Creator, the upper force that has created us, that gave each of us an ego, which is called, I have created the evil inclination. And now, by our efforts to integrate, besides the evil inclination that each of us brings, above it, as a result of our efforts, my efforts, suppose, the efforts that I make towards them, the good inclination, and then, as a result of the inclusion, in me there is the good inclination and the bad inclination, and the Creator that is above them, who began this creation, and now, from below upwards, as I'm included of everyone, now I reveal Him inside of me.